So after my Mecum videos, I got this question asked a lot. What were some of the best deals I seen when I was out at Mecum? So today I picked out a few cars and we're just going to look and see what they went for, if they sold, what they sold for. First we'll stop into Roadside Wrecks Garage and check on the status of the old orange Pontiac. Beautiful day out. It's literally in the mid-60s. We're going to go out and get something done in the shop. It's so nice out that we even got the doors open. And then you walk in the shop and it feels like it's 20 degrees cooler in here. And here's why it feels 20 degrees colder in here. It's been cold for so many days in a row. The cement in here is 45 degrees. The boss is working hard. She's loving it. Let's figure out where we left off 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. I don't even know. I just got to kind of get a game plan, figure out what we're doing. So, like so many things in this world, so many things in this life, I didn't think this next part through very well. When I ordered this flatline kit, I ordered it for a hardtop, and I did it on purpose. Because I wanted all the headliner pieces that came with the hardtop kit. So I had extra pieces around the car. And I knew better, but I didn't think about it. The rear seat and the rear panels on a convertible to a hardtop are different. So by ordering the hardtop kit, I got the pieces I wanted, but I got the wrong pieces for a convertible. So I'm just making do with what I got. They send you all these pieces. Now, if you could figure out, I mean, even if I had a coupe, if I had a hard top, what in the hell am I supposed to, really? Where's that go? Where does that go? So I'm going to do the best I can to just kind of piece in. That's something left over from something else. I did notice, if you can see, the door pieces and the other pieces, like the floor and the headliner, the thickness is much different. So that's something I cut out for something else. So I'm just going to piece this in as good as I can. And I think these are for the doors, the front doors. So I'll figure it out. I don't know. I don't think it matters a whole hell of a lot. And really, truly, this doesn't fit that bad. I'll get these little areas fit in with what I got left over here. I mean, god damn, that fits. Damn, that fits nice. That's not too chabby. So, oh hell. I don't know. This all looks like it's going to work out pretty good in the end, so I don't know what they're talking about. Do I ever know what anybody's talking about? Worst part is you set this silver shit down on other silver shit. It's really hard to see. It's like the worst damn puzzle you've ever put together. this 55 Cadillac that had a trunk full of garbage, the interior that smelled like a silage pile, needed a ton of work. And what did it sell for? $22,000. That had a hammer price of 20 grand then. If I remember, yeah, since purchase in 2001, vehicle has been restored twice. Twice? Okay. So somebody spent $22,000 on this thing. I don't know if I'd call that a deal. Let's look at some other 55 Cadillac convertibles and see what they sold for. 55 Caddy Series 62 convertible that's sold at Mecum. Sale price of $46,200. That means the gavel price is going to be roughly $42,000, somewhere in that range. So this seems like a pretty much a better deal. Whoever bought the one for $22,000 is going to have a lot more money into it than $46,200 to get it to this point. So 22 grand for this, goodbye. Just after looking at it in person, I can't say 22 grand is the best money ever spent, but let's look at another one. So here's another one I looked at when I was out at Mecum Kissimmee. The build quality on this was second to none. This thing was absolutely beautiful. As you can see, we had a sale price of $132. So the hammer price on this was roughly $120. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. If you notice, this has an LS3 in it. I took some good pictures and video of this thing. Somebody built this just to sell it, I guess. It is a beautiful truck. There's no way around it. But 132 grand. You got to have what I call FU money to want to spend 132 grand on a 1972 GMC Jimmy. So let's see if we can find something close to this with an LS3 in it. I don't know if it even lists what kind of transmission. I'm guessing it's got does it have a modern 4L70. So here's one that just recently sold at Barrett Jackson. I like how Barrett Jackson and Mecum pretty much have the same website nowadays. One's just white, one's black. But this guy, whoever built this, they did a 6-liter with a 6L. It was a 6L90, I think I read in here. Pretty similar build. This one sold for $113,300. Roughly, I mean, from this guy, it's very comparable. I will say Barrett Jackson does a lot better on their pictures online here. I actually like this copper color, and I only like it because my dad had a 71 four-wheel drive, just the long bed pickup when I was a kid, and it was in that copper color, so I've always been partial to that copper color. Let's see what else is out there for these 72 Jimmys. All right, here's another one that sold last summer. Supercharged 6-liter. Sold for $118. We're right in that same area. What do we got for a transmission? 4-speed automatic. Doesn't tell us exactly what it is here, but very similar build, it looks like. So is that a great deal going to back to the Mecum truck? So hammer price of probably roughly, like we said, hammer price probably in that 120 range. Is that a good deal? Yeah, there's an LS3. I mean, everybody else is looks like these other two comparables I found. They're building 6-liters. So, I mean, very, very similar builds, very similar prices. This one's listed as having 1 mile on it, and it was a beautiful build. That's just what they're going for. It amazes me. It shocks me that these go for this much, but these are just such cool trucks. I'll never own anything like this. I have a 70 Suburban. Mine's rusted to hell. I mean, mine's rusted bad, but we will be fixing that soon enough. It's not going to be no 6-figure truck when it's done, that's for sure. These things are over the top. My biggest problem with these is I don't know how much I'd drive it. If I spent 132 grand on this thing and got it home, after getting it home, paying all the now I got to get it registered and pay all the tax on this. I'm probably 150 grand into this damn thing by the time it's all said and done. And now I got to insure it. Do I really want to drive that down the road with the way these idiots drive anymore? Everybody's got a cell phone shoved so far up their nose they can't see out the windshield anymore. And I'm going to put 150, something I have 150 grand invested into out on the road with these idiots. That's my biggest problem. Just as a poor man out here playing the game, I don't have FU money to be driving these things around. I kudos to the guys that can afford to do it and don't give two shits if they get run into, but I can't. I just can't afford it, and I know that's why you have insurance. But is it a good deal? It's not a horrible deal. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, man. All right, I got a comment on this. I looked at this car. It's got 47 miles on it. Who in the hell kept an 87 Chevette all these years and only put 47 miles on it? Why? Why? This thing sold. It had a hammer price of $30,000. I watched it. Um, I was in shock, like half the other people in the building were in shock. 30 grand. I'm not even going to look up comps because there are no comps on this. I guarantee it. $30,000. A hammer price of $30,000. Sold price 33 after commission, after your buyer's fee. What the hell? I just don't even have anything else to say, but I had to bring it on here just because. Congratulations. You own a $33,000 Chevette. I don't know if you watched my previous episode, I brought up this car because these wheels just absolutely kill me. And that hood scoop, I'm sorry, that is absolutely hideous. And I kind of called this guy out and whatever. I mean, I probably sit down and have a beer with the dude. He's probably a great guy, whoever built this. Or somebody who was commissioned to build this. I don't know. I love B-body Mopars. There's no way around it. I had a 69 Charger for years and I should have never sold it. But yeah, 132 grand. I've been watching absolute piles of garbage sell for 20,000. I mean, cars that should have been crushed 30 years ago, 68 to 70 Chargers that should have been crushed 30 years ago, selling for $25,000. So it's not shocking to me that this sold for $132,000. 572 V8, 5-speed. I mean, they made it very drivable. If you watch my previous episode, you can kind of see it in the pictures. They ghosted in the General Lee stuff, the 01, the Rebel flag, that type of stuff. It's a cool build. There's no way around it. I personally would put Magnum 500s back on it, and it would get a different hood because that hood scoop is hideous. And I would put a different dash. I would put the original dash back in it because that dash does zero for me. I'm sorry. 132 grand. I mean, really, what are you going to do with it? You're not going to drive this. You're not going to drive it around much. It once again turns into one of those cars that is going to sit in a collection somewhere, just like most of these Mopars do anymore. People don't really drive them much anymore. So kudos to you guys that can afford them and put them up into your collections. But it's not the kind of car I would want to own. I want to go do big smoky burnouts and drive to the local pub and hang out with the other cool guys. Stand outside and talk smack about other car owners. So I can't wrap my head around 132 grand. I mean, maybe if I won the lottery someday, I could wrap my head around it. But as a working man, I'm out. I just can't do it. So I was going to the results page and looking through here. So I did look at this car. This was a beautiful car. There's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes I'm shocked that the bid goes on. 75 grand. I mean, that's about what that car was worth. It was a $75,000 car. This one shocked me. It's kind of neat for somebody to throw in their collection. 29,000. I thought that would go higher than that. This thing was beautiful. I looked at this and they did such a nice job with this on the restoration of this. It really was a beautiful car. I love those poverty caps and steel wheels on it. I love the color combination, just really beautiful. Once again, out of my price range, I'll never be able to own one like that. The Mopar thing is staying true. It's the prices are up there. It's crazy. Even a 318 69 Charger is pulling $44,000. I don't remember seeing this one here. I had a couple people ask me about this car. Original 8,600 miles on it. I was shocked to see this go for as cheap as it did, 46,000, and is actually sold. It must have went no reserve. I looked at this car
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was a very nice Survivor. Well taken care of, well documented from what I seen. 8,600 miles. No, it just did not get driven. But yeah, I would have not been surprised if that number was damn near doubled, to tell you the truth. So once again, not a bad deal. Not a bad deal if you can swing it. It's amazing what even these things are going for these days. So this one I have to bring up just because I have a 1958 Edsel Pacer convertible, one of 800 and 1,876 produced, sitting out in one of my buildings out here. It doesn't belong to me, it belongs to my wife, but unfortunately I'm the guy that gets to take care of it. I'm the one that maintains it and makes sure it's running for her. Her car does not have the push button automatic anymore. It's actually got a steering column out of a Thunderbird. The original push button is long gone before we ever got the car. I looked at this one while I was out at Mecum. Every time I see an Edsel, I go look at it just because I'm curious as to where the prices are going on these things. And I was not impressed. This thing was driver quality. It was not showroom, dealer ready, concourse, nothing of the sort. It was not that nice of a car. The interior was pretty lackluster on it. I just was not impressed by the car at all. And to see that it pulled $53,000 essentially, so hammer price had to be somewhere in that 47, 48 range on something like this. I was kind of shocked, to tell you the truth, because I'm not going to tell you what my wife paid for hers, but it was not even in the vicinity of that price. And her car is nicer. I'll just be honest with you. Her car is much nicer. She's got an award sitting up here. Her car won nicest interior from Day of the Duels up at Daytona Beach from a few years ago. Out of it was over 600 cars that were there. Just a small brag on her car, but the interior in her car was way nicer than this. You can't really tell in the pictures on this thing, but this was just really lackluster. And to see this go for that kind of money makes me want to put her car up for sale. But I'm pretty sure she'd be mad at me if I sold her car out from underneath of her. But I've already told her I'm going to sell that damn thing and replace it with a 56 Bel Air because that's what I want. So somehow or another, this feels like a marketing stunt. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. 25 million. I mean, obviously Seinfeld don't need the money, but 25 million. Number one, who the hell was bidding on this thing? And number two, how do you not let this go for 20? I have zero idea. I've never looked it up. I don't even know if it's public knowledge what Seinfeld paid for this. This car belongs in a museum, honestly. I just don't know what else to say about this. This one is shocking to me. The Steve McQueen Bullet Mustang that sold a few years ago at Mecum, that one was shocking too because that thing was a holy pile of shit. If you saw that in person, you'd understand what I was saying. But it was also the car that came from one of the most iconic movies ever. I don't know. I'm just speechless on this one. Here's the car that I'm sure if you watch my previous Mecum episodes that most people want to hear me comment on. This is a car that I picked apart when I was out there at the fairgrounds for having a ton of Bondo in it and having really, really bad body lines and poor gaps. And it just, yeah, I ripped this car apart. 37,000 and the bid goes on. I wouldn't have gave him 20,000 for this car, honestly. After seeing it in person, I would not have given the guy 20 grand for it because it needed $30,000 worth of work to get to a point where I feel that it was deserving of. To me, this was lipstick on a pig. That's about all I can say on this one too. Watch my previous episodes on. I brought this car up in two other episodes out at Mecum. I will say I'm kind of surprised that they didn't let this go for 37 grand. You're going to have a tough time selling this car for more, I feel, especially to anybody that knows what they're doing, anybody that's going to actually have this car inspected or is going to inspect it themselves and knows what they're looking for. I would walk away all day long at 37 grand on this car. So kudos, man. I mean, keep it, drive it, enjoy it. That's about all I can say. This is a perfect example. In this picture, this car looks pretty sharp. I mean, it really doesn't look like it has any issues, but I urge you to go back and watch my other videos on this and look at the really, really bad body lines and the way and the fitment issues and the amount of Bondo I found in this thing.
So there you kind of have it. There's deals to be had at Mecum. There's deals to be had at any of these auctions. This is the GAA auction happened behind me. There's always a deal to be had. There's always going to be a good deal anywhere. There's always a good deal to be had at the consignment dealers. You gotta keep your eyes open and know what you're looking for. There's always going to be somebody that's going to get screwed at these auctions and at the consignment dealers. So know what you're looking for. Do your homework. Don't go in there and buy on a whim. That's all I was saying in those 2 episodes anyway. I'll probably be hitting some more Mecum auctions this year and doing the same types of videos and just calling out the crap as I see it and calling out the good stuff as I see it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. None of my cars are anything to write home about. Everything I drive is basically just borderline junk, and that's the way I prefer it. I don't need 6-figure cars to make me happy. I like my piles of junk that are rusty but trusty, and if they get some door dings in them, so be it. And I really don't have to worry about them then. So it's about beer 30, so I guess I'll catch you guys next week.